I'd be on these wild binges, 20, 30 beers deep. Kept thinking alcohol was helping me. I remember driving down the road going like 100 and something. I was speeding, I was screaming, I was throwing beer out the window. It was super reckless. I hated it growing up. I still hate it. I didn't drink it because I enjoyed it. I drank it to forget, and I never forgot anything. I wanted to get caught. I wanted someone to save me.
Hey guys,
There you
I'm
go.
joined by Chris today. He is a little over a month sober, so I know that a lot of you like these newer sobriety stories. It's a little refresher. He has been battling it since he was about 14-ish years old, reaching for substance at 14 years old. Can you take us back to that day or those times?
Um, so when I was 14, I started smoking. Was I fell in love with it because I could numb myself and not have to worry and overthink or not deal with the emotions. Growing up was a little rough around that time. Got to about 21, started drinking off and on. It was more like a fun thing, doing cocaine, um, other drugs as well, just for the fun of it. And it didn't get really, it got really like deep, like back in like 2018, 2019, where the binges were extended, lost multiple jobs because of it, and a lot of failed relationships. And
So
yeah.
you quit with a specific way. You've tried AA, you've tried smart meetings, and those just weren't for you.
AA definitely wasn't for me. I couldn't stand the whole feeling powerless over alcohol. I feel like I have the control to stop and make a change. Smart, I still go to. Actually, I'm going to one tonight. A buddy of mine is hosting his first smart meeting in San Jose, so that's going to be exciting. Um, So that one's still good. I like the community. It's not like bragging about who's having the most beer or who's got the most effed up life. And
It's not keeping
yeah, it's
score.
just yeah, yeah. I don't even keep track of how many days sober I used to, and it's like no, that's another thing that can overwhelm me and start getting in my mind and thinking. It's just for me, it doesn't work.
So
I
you
know.
kind of, your family kind of had some issues growing up, which then led you to smoking and, just dealing and numbing. I think a lot of us have family issues that
Hmm.
started our drinking.
Yeah, definitely. When we were 14, my dad started drinking heavily. He had an affair. I don't think he could get over the fact that he did that to my mom. He started drinking very heavily. He tried to take her out. So then she met somebody online and then moved away. And so during that time, he had a blow device. He was on probation. We would have to blow in his car to get him to go to work. My sister was having really bad people come over. So I was just literally trying to escape from all that, and smoking helped. And eventually I wanted to clean myself up from that. And then it just fell into drinking.
Drinking. And then you mentioned using cocaine also so you can keep drinking.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was
Yeah.
yeah, it was like that euphoric feeling because I just was so far. I guess my confidence, my self-esteem, everything was so low. Just doing a line or two when I was drinking would just bring it up, and then I felt amazing, and then the next day I'd feel like crap and drink again to feel better and repeat the cycle.
Right. You were drinking like 18, 30, 18 to up to 30,
Yeah,
30
like whatever.
packs.
Yeah, 18 to 30 beers or more.
You
Anything I could get
mentioned
my hand on.
You mentioned last time we talked about drinking, what, 6 bangs one night?
Oh
Or
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So that's when I was living in Campbell. I was on a good one. I was drinking and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to drink like 5 to 6 bangs. And I did. I accomplished it. And then I had more beer, called a good friend of mine, Isaac, who I still talk to this day, who supports me and everything, and we have very good conversations. Yeah, it was horrible. I laid on a couch for about 2 weeks, missed a bunch of work, had to take CBD to try to feel better. Ended up throwing up blood. It wasn't just, it was full on deep blood. It was a little scary, but that
Stop
still
you.
didn't stop me. Yeah.
You just took a 2-week like break and then
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
back
I
to
was like,
it.
okay, good to go. So the girl I was dating at the time, as soon as had a sip, I was slurring my words. I started getting cocky and arrogant, and I used to sneak it in, like, I don't have one, but it's a gallon jug. So I'd pour White Claw in there and it was clear. The only thing that would get me caught was when I opened it, you can hear the carbonation.
Mm.
So
You didn't mention that last time.
I know.
So you
I
were
didn't, I was a little nervous, but I'm going all out.
so you were sneaking White Claw.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I was sneaking White Claw. I mean, I remember driving down the road going like 100 and something on. There's a highway in 880. It's in San Jose Milpitas, and I was coming back from somewhere, and I was speeding. I was screaming. I was throwing beer out the window. I was just in my mind, I was having a good time. It was super reckless. I mean, I can remember it like it was the other day. I ended up going to meet somebody. Ended up taking a pill. I think it was a Xanax bar, and they said the full one should have killed me. I don't know. I've never been into pills, but I do remember walking around like a zombie. I had blood on my head. She was filming me. The next day I woke up kind of like, oh, I'm in bed. Like, what's going on? Threw up blood again. And then she told me to leave, and then that was kind of the end of that. And then I got sober eventually for a little bit and repeated the cycle. Moved away, went down south, wasn't for me, repeated it, came back multiple
So
times.
you were on a sober streak and then something happened and you decided to drink and it took you right back to where
hmm
you were
Like, I couldn't
before.
deal with the emotions. That's exactly why I drink. I couldn't handle the emotions. It was, I guess, from what I've know and from talking to therapists and talking to Isaac and talking to people in the groups, I got stuck. I guess my growth when I was at 14 got stunted from smoking, drinking.
Mhm.
So dealing with emotions have been a challenge. Definitely with the way I got sober, I'm pretty at peace with myself, and I forgave myself, and I have like spiritual awareness from reading all the books. So I mean, it's definitely a lot better than it was back when I tried all the other times.
So there was a specific book that helped you quit drinking, but I want to get into that later.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on I had a therapist recently, probably in the last few months, mention, and I think I mentioned this in a different podcast, the emotional maturity. We kind of just stunt our emotional maturity
Mm-hmm.
when we start drinking at such a young age. So I think a lot
Oh.
of people, we have to grow out of alcohol. Like we have to grow up once we quit drinking.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still like a child. I'll still
Well,
joke around and stuff, but the reactiveness, the mindset and discipline is 100% different to how I used to be.
yeah. And we mentioned how like you were also disciplined like me with health and fitness,
hmm
but we were very disciplined with binge drinking and getting blacked
Oh
out
yeah.
and, but
Yeah, for sure.
never disciplined with not touching it.
Oh no, no. I mean, just like a month and a half ago or whatever, just I think I door dashed maybe like 7 or 8 times, and I just remember getting the beer, and I'd be like sneaking behind the back of the house to the gate, thinking that my family wouldn't see it, and jumping in the car, going and visiting my sister's kid's dad with like a bunch of ammo, a gun, drinking a beer, blasting country music, thinking I'm like living this great life. And I think what I've come to terms with that, like, I had to start work. I was missing the person that, like, the love of my life, and I wanted to get caught. I wanted someone to save me because I was like, well, if I get a DUI, I won't have to go to work, and I can actually work on focusing on my sobriety. But knock on wood, nothing ever happened, and I
You did
pulled
get it.
myself out of it.
You did get a
Yeah.
DUI though, right?
Yeah, 2008. I wasn't 21.
Oh, you were 20.
Yeah, I was 20. I was the legal limit, and I went to go see someone. We were gonna go smoke, and I decided to drive. in my dad's car. I think it might have had the blow device in it. I can't remember. But I just remember I was in a lane that wasn't a lane. It was like the side you pull out on, and the highway patrol got me, and I just told them right away, just take me in. Like there's no reason to do all the tests. And I ended up, they let me out the next day, and I was in slippers and a jacket with no shirt in the valley. Remember it clearly.
Some things you just can't remember or unforget, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned some failed relationships, and I feel like some of us definitely have failed relationships when, we're
Hmm.
drinking and the drinking just takes over takes over who we are, and then the other person just
Hmm.
gets sick of it or things happen. But your
Hmm.
drinking was just pretty much the reckless, and she just didn't want to deal with it.
I Yeah, I don't blame her one bit.
Or it was you mentioned the honesty part, like you weren't honest about your drinking or something like that.
So when I started talking to her, I was doing really well. We hit it off. It was a great relationship. As soon as I took that first drink, my self-confidence and everything went away. So I kept seeking validation for helping her, and I throw it in her face. And
Mm.
then I stopped, and then I was good. And then I just became really negative and toxic. And then some shit happened in December, and I was beating myself up, and I already knew I was going to drink. So I drank then. And then come February, I was working at like a temporary city job, and I was just like over it. I'm like, this is not what I want to be doing. And I got off or something, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go drink, like whatever. Oh, you know what? Actually, I left. I think I left from her house, came home, and did some stuff, and then I had like a wild hair out of nowhere. I was like, oh, I'm gonna drink. So I passed out, and I had my tracking on so she could see if I was safe because I had car troubles and
Um,
stuff. So when she looked at the tracking, I was in, or I was at my house passed out, but it was still said I was at the liquor store. So she's like, "Oh, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, tell me the truth." She didn't want to say it. She just kept saying, and I was like, "I'm fine. I'm not doing nothing." She's crying. She very emotional person, actually really cares about people's well-being. And I lied, and then I was like, I went to the liquor store, I went and got my favorite Gatorade and chips, and then she already knew it was bullshit. And that just from that day all the way till what on the May 14th, I think it was, when I stopped, it just was a wild binge. I was super upset that I became that toxic and negative, because when she met me, I was just really killing it, but wasn't I was working on myself, but I wasn't incorporating the sobriety into it. I didn't know about smart meetings. I said fuck AA, I couldn't stand it. So I was just reading books, working out, eating healthy, just, killing it in that aspect.
um, so the book, do you want to show us which book I feel like so many people bring this book up, Allen Carr's Quit Drinking Without Willpower. I think that is so many people comment like almost daily how one of his books have helped them. What
Hmm.
part of his book helped you?
Oh shit.
Like, is there something that
Um,
like stands out the most? I know that we went over so much last time,
I
and
know.
you know, I feel like the part that says willpower implies you're depriving yourself of something good, but alcohol is the poison. You're not giving anything up.
So it's the part, I guess, so it's not going to be in his words exactly, but what helped me with that book was I kept thinking alcohol was helping me. So I'd be on these wild binges, 20, 30 beers deep, just pass out. And I'd wake up and there was a moment of clarity, like 5 minutes of like, oh shit, I talked really bad shit. I need to go to work. I'm going to need to go to work. I'm probably wrecking my liver. I'm not talking to people. I'm calling people I don't want to be talking to, like negative people that I've got rid of just because I need somebody to party with or go do something stupid. And admitting that I actually had a problem was it was really really changing for me because I never wanted to be labeled as an alcoholic. I didn't want to, I was prideful. And reading that part of the book and saying, like, oh, you actually have an addiction to alcohol was just amazing. So also with the anxiety and all that, it really taught and showed me that it wasn't helping, it was causing more. I kept thinking it was going to
Mhm.
help with my brain ruminating and going into these deep spirals of negative shit, or the stuff I did to her to hurt her, to cost our, our relationship, and, not having a job, and what happened in the past about another job or something, and other failed things in my life, and being too old to do anything. It just it it changed my perspective. I started perceiving that it was not helping me, and the next day after wrecking myself, I read that book, about 160 something pages, almost read the whole, most of the thing, and it just clicked. And I was like, "Oh shit, this is evil. Like, this is not helping me. Like, this is what have I been doing this whole time?" Like, like I kept thinking it was just like medicine, but it wasn't.
I think a lot of us think that way. I remember when I was listening to that book, the only reason people continue to drink is because they are afraid of life without alcohol. So many people, well, what do you do for fun now? Like, what do you
Mhm.
do? I mean, what a sad life without alcohol. Oh, that's an NA. How sad. It's like, do you know what life is without alcohol? I mean, there's
Yeah.
a whole nother life out there. And you're just in the beginning, so you get to experience, I mean, you've done it before, but you get to re-experience everything. But that book opened your eyes and mind to a different way.
It definitely did. It's all the other times they were good, but it was more like it was on the back burner. It was just like never a thought. Now it's like everything I do, like I worked out today. I haven't worked out in a while, so to me, working out, that's working on my sobriety. Reading a book, talking to somebody nicely and not being reactive and negative, and just listening, active listening. It's like that's part of my sobriety. Like, all this stuff meshed together is a part of my sobriety. Everything I do every day, waking up, being positive, that all adds to, and reading, if I didn't say that already, that all adds to my sobriety to make me keep going and pushing forward.
I think so many people, and I can say this from a personal experience with people around me, it's easy to put the bottle down and say, I'm done drinking. But if you don't do the work, it's not going to keep you sober. I
For
I mean,
sure.
you definitely have to do the I mean, I like, reading, positivity. I mean, there's so much healing that goes into quitting drinking. Like, we masked so many things for so many years.
Oh, yeah.
The trauma.
Definitely. Oh shit, so much. That's yeah, that's definitely true. It's just I think all those other times I'd always have, like, something in the back of my mind because I didn't know it was bad. I didn't know that it was causing anxiety, it was ruining my life, it was doing all this bad stuff. Excuse me, and it's just I think I still liked it then, back then. I was still like, "Oh, it'd be nice to have one and get wild again," because there's, like, it's no 1 or 2, it's 0 to 1,000, like, let's go. And I just kept thinking it was this great thing, and so it was, like, hard to do, and as soon as I read the book and started changing my mind, like, it'll come, like, sometimes it'll be there, but I just tell myself what the book says, like, "This is bad for me, it's not gonna make anything better," and it goes away. There's no rumination, there's no, fixation on having a drink or something like that.
Yeah. So that book just made something click.
For sure, yeah.
It's hard because I never read any of the quit drinking books when I was doing 75 Hard. I just read other personal development books, but I
Mhm,
feel even now when I'm reading just personal development books besides the quit drinking books, you can take pieces of those personal development books and plug sobriety right in there because you have to do the work if you want to grow as a
mhm.
human and grow your mindset. You have to do the work. I mean, you don't
You
just get to
have
put
to.
the bottle down and be like, "Oh, I quit drinking." No, I mean, maybe some people can, but I think it's more of a recipe for disaster if you're just not going to
Mm.
do it yourself good also.
Some people can, but like we were saying last time, my dad's been sober for 6, 7 years off vodka,
Yeah.
just hardcore, but he's still that same person. There's still the anger, there's still resentment, there's still all this other shit that wasn't dealt with, and it's like I quit drinking, but you're still an asshole, you're still this, you know, and that's fine. Like that he needed to be sober. Like he's amazing to his friends, but to certain family members he can still be a prick and angry.
Right. Well, I feel like if you have a victim, I think I brought this up last time too. If you have a victim
Mhm.
mentality, that's who you are. You are a victim. And
Mhm.
who wants to live their whole entire life a victim? Like it's
Yeah.
everybody else's fault. Like I'm going to hold all this resentment. And don't get me wrong, I still have a lot of things I have to work on. I mean, going 2 years, almost 2 years sober, like there's still so much of our own well-being that we have to fix and work on. But those that don't work on it, I think it just makes, I mean, good for your dad, but he's not a pleasant person to be around, which I know people like that. They quit drinking, and are they still a pleasant person to
Mhm.
be around? Or
Mm.
do they get better when they quit drinking?
Yeah, it's like my buddy said, my good another friend Andre, he's been sober for 9 years. AA got him sober, and he's always telling me, Don't watch their mouth, look at their feet," because a lot of people
Yeah.
talk about it, but they don't do it. The action, obviously, actions speak louder than
Words, yeah.
words. So
It's
yeah,
so true.
definitely.
So
No,
true.
it is 100%. It's a lot of people are, yeah, they just like, I think it's like an attention. It's like they get addicted to it. It's another addiction. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at me. I'm reading this, I'm doing that. But yeah, but also too, another book that I read it's a Buddha book, and that book was like you were talking about how you can pick out something and it just everything hits. That book so much clicked for sobriety. I was at training in up north, and I had 2 weeks. I read it in about, yeah, I read about like 2 weeks, and it was just so good. And something that stuck out there was, you know, instead of like if I'm angry or I'm upset or I'm sad, you're just angry, upset, or sad. There's no reason to act on that emotion or react on that emotion.
Right.
And prior to this, if I was angry, it's like I need to have a drink.
Mhm.
Or, oh, that's upsetting. I need to have a drink.
Yeah. Well, we always turn to alcohol, right?
Or other
Happy,
stuff.
sad, mad. Yeah. Or other stuff. So, what was the name of the Buddha book?
The heart of Buddhist teaching. And I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name.
That's
So
fine. I don't.
it's a good one.
I botch names.
Yeah.
How has your relationship with, I think we talked about, your mom is supportive of you.
Yeah.
So we talked
So
about this too.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah. We did.
And so there's support on the fact that I got up, stopped, and went to work, because that's what was like, this was my last chance to get my shit together before I was like homeless, or I had nothing, because they don't have nothing. They're working, they're older, they're still working. It's funny that I guess she just sees me as I stopped drinking.
Ooh.
And if there's a day like prior, I've been pretty good with being at peace. But prior to the last time I stopped, or the second, third, whatever, I would stop, and she'd be like, "Well, why are you irritated?" She's like, "I thought you're okay." It's like, "No, I just stopped drinking. There's still all kinds of other issues going on. Like, I still might
Yeah.
want to have a drink. Like, I'm upset." And it comes back to all the horrible shit that I said to my ex when I was drinking. She sees me as Chris, as drunk Chris and nice Chris. There's just one person. And for me, and I'm assuming for most addicts and people like that, once you get your mind, you have that mindset, you have the awareness, like there's drunk Chris, and then there's the Chris I am right now, like the
Right.
human I am right now, like doing everything I can in my power to be better, and trying to just live in the now and be positive. Like alcohol, when I start drinking, it just changes me so much. It's almost
Yeah.
like, it's like a split personality. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
I feel like that's the same as, so many people in our life, they are like, "Oh, you quit drinking, cool." But they still keep you in that, like, drunk box. Like,
Mhm.
they can't see the work that you've done. They just wanna keep you held to your past, your drunk version,
Mhm.
and, like, how is that okay? I mean, we
Mhm.
are working on ourselves, we've changed, we want better for ourselves. Like, please let go of who I was. I mean, it's a struggle. I get it because people aren't actually necessarily proud of you. They're just like, "Oh, good thing she quit drinking."
Yeah. Yeah, and to what I say to it's gonna sound messed up, but it's like, fuck those people. Like, you don't need, like, no one needs that. Like, I've gotten rid of so many negative people because I don't want to hear about what I did in the past. I forgave myself. That's another reason how I stopped drinking. I read that book and sat there and I said, the guilt, the shame, all that shit I did in the past is not going to be able to be changed. What I can do right now is be a better human being and be better for myself, stay sober, kill it, help anyone I can. Like that forgiveness was amazing, but people that want to hold on to that past, to me, that's just like sucking the life out of me. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. It doesn't do anything good for my sobriety. There's one like my ex, we have had a conversation where we did talk about the past, and I was very open and listening to it because I wanted to hear the stuff I said and, explain myself to her, and the conversation went good. I've been talking to her off and on. We have not talked about that since, and that's okay, but the constant refueling of the past, and it's like, "Oh, I used to do that. Oh, you did this. You don't remember?" It's like, "Okay, I did that, but I'm trying to be better." I don't wanna hear it. It's not good for sobriety, it's not good for your mental health. It's to me, it's just negative.
I mean, I can imagine those binges with a 30 pack. Were they tall boys or were they
People probably laugh. It's Coors Light, but I would go hard on the Coors Light, but it would be like a 30 pack, 18 pack, and then like 2, 3, 4 tall boys.
in a day?
Mhm. And I'd
Oh,
wake up
man.
at like 6 or 4 or 5 in the morning and have like 1 or 2 pass out and then do it again.
So, back home, or my home is,
Mhm.
a lot of the farmers were drinkers, and one of the farmers I actually worked for drank 1 or 2 24 packs of Coors Light a day. So when people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, that's not you can't do that," I'm like, "I personally knew somebody that drank that much." It seems miserable, but if you start in the morning and, you're up until late at night, you're a farmer, so you're crack it on
Mhm.
to sunset, and, like, it's uncomfortable, I'm sure, but possible.
Oh, it really is like I used to pride myself like I can do it, and then like when like, I was looking for beer. I remember this clearly. I'm like, "Where's all the beer?" I'm like, "Holy shit, I drank an 18." Then I'd get, 2, so that's what, another 12 pack, and just keep going. And it was amazing. I never got sick. I'd feel like crap the next morning, but I'd have another one as soon as I woke up, or I'd be walking or driving to the store to feel better.
Yeah. I r I mean, I could dominate a six-pack of IPAs and go on to
I
the
can't do
next, and the
that.
next, and the next, and but I didn't like I mean, I didn't like Coors Light. I wasn't a light beer drinker. I liked the heavy stuff.
Another guy, the one I'm going to the meeting, he used to drink the IPAs and he would be chugging away and then going to work to go deal with like car stuff like at a dealership, and he'd just be hammered. But he's like, Coors Light's like water. I'm like, I don't care. Like I still had a problem. Like
I we had
it
my husband's cousin calls it Colorado water. I
is
was
like
like,
that.
It is."
Drink enough of it, it'll mess you up.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Cake stands with it. I mean, back in the day. Oh man. So
I or
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry. No, I was gonna say I never see. That's the thing. I drank alone. I wanted to be alone. I wanted to be in my dark depression, my dark hole alone. And then yeah, that I never went out. And then when I did go out, it would be like, oh, this is gonna be one of those nights, some type of drama.
Some type of drama. Always,
Mm,
right? When there's alcohol
mm,
involved, there's always
mm.
drama. Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
it's
S-
never good.
So you binge like 7 days a week, almost.
Yeah, until I was over it. So this last time I wasn't over it. I was really upset that I blamed everybody. I was a victim. I'm like, "Oh,
Mm.
I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I don't have a new truck. I don't have my ranch. I don't have all this stuff." And it wasn't until like after I realized that God, I was going somewhere good with this. Yeah, so it was 7 days a week. It was binging. I was had a victim mentality. I kept blaming everybody. And this last time I was not. I was going to call my boss and I was going to tell him I'm done. I'm going to quit and I'm over it. I was so upset that stupid drinking cost me a one of the best relationships in my life. Like we were going to get married, we were going to, you know, work towards everything. She's the one that forced me to not forced me. She pushed me to get to keep applying to where I'm at and it all happened. But yeah, just I keep losing it because it's just there's so much. But yeah, so I didn't want to stop, but I had my mom told me 5 days before I had to go to work. She's like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" And I'm like laying in the bed and I'm like curled up and I'm like not even saying anything. I'm probably like groaning. And I was like, shit, I need to stop. And all the emotions, everything came running in. I woke up the next day and I started reading that book. And I read the book and I talked out loud or said it in my head and I forgave myself. And it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. And it was just, I was like, all right, it's time to go. It's go time. Maybe like about a week here and there was thoughts. And I this may sound crazy, but I told myself, I was like, you know what? Like, I care about this woman. Like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to try to get her back.
I love that. I think that's the part where when you fully understand that alcohol offers nothing of real value, quitting becomes a joyful escape, not a sacrifice.
hmm
And
That's
too many of us just we think it's a sacrifice to give up alcohol.
a lot of people do because they all think it's just like a great gift. I was never into that. Like, I despise it. I hated it growing up. I still hate it. I didn't drink it because I enjoyed it. I drank it to forget, and I never forgot anything. It would be like a 10-minute thing and then it would come back, but it wasn't as strong when I was sober. So when I was drinking, it did help a little. In my mind, I thought it helped, but it didn't really truly help.
Yeah. It never helps anybody. And I know like we've all
No.
probably had some good times when we were drinking, but at the
Uh,
same well, I mean,
hmm,
I've talked to people and they're like, "Don't get me wrong, I've had good times, with my girlfriends or whatever." Like, yeah, sure, like those nights that don't get out of hand,
hmm,
but still you wake up feeling slow and crummy and just, you probably it would have been way more enjoyable sober.
yeah.
So, the first So help us, those that are just starting, because I know some people comment, I'm on day one, I'm on day 12, they're still super early into their journey. So recommending that book, obviously, but any
Mm.
other tools that have helped you you know, stay
Um,
sober this,
check out
36-ish
AA
days.
check out AA if it works for you. It works for you. That's good. It doesn't work for me. Smart. You can go on their website. They have an app. There's a lot of good online, um, I guess meetings. Yeah, there you go. Zoom meetings. I couldn't think of it. If you're in California, look it up. There's a lot of good ones out here as well. I think too, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like day one, cool. Don't overthink it. Don't get upset and beat yourself up if you accidentally drink or you drink. It's not the end of the world. That truly helped me too, as well. Being structured, working out, eating healthy, and reading lots of books, like reading a lot of self-help books, because once you kick, excuse me, the alcohol, there's always going to be something to work on, to be
Oh,
better, to have a
yeah.
sharper mind. And yeah, it's just, I think the biggest thing that helped me is the reading and the structure, and then just, going to the meetings.
I think structure is a huge thing. I think we talked about this, and I
Mhm.
think that's why 75 Hard worked for me because it was so structured. And
Mhm.
I had to read personal development. I had to eat healthy. I had to work out. I couldn't have
Mhm.
sugar or alcohol. Um,
Yeah.
but I think having a structure, and I think that's where a lot of us lack discipline. Sure, we're motivated. I want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, well, when you lose that 5 pounds, where does that motivation go now? Like it needs to turn into discipline. And
See, the go ahead.
oh, and I think that's where a lot of us get stuck and fall backwards because
Mhm.
we run out of motivation. Okay, well, why am I sober now?
The thing about motivation, and I can't remember who I heard it on or what I was listening to, but the thing about it, there's gonna be days like, I think like, today I woke up and I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna work out, like, it's been forever, this is what I told myself I was gonna do, let's kill it." And then tomorrow, I could be like, "Oh, I don't wanna do it," but I force myself. If you can force
Yeah.
yourself into do it, it becomes so natural after a few weeks, it just keeps going. Like, for me, reading since I've stopped drinking, if I don't read, I try to read every day. Like, the other night, I didn't. Oh, no, the other night I did, but I read in the morning. I'll read even if it's like a page or 2, just it's just all that comes together and it just works out perfectly. It's just there's gonna be days where you're not motivated, but having that discipline and being strong and just forcing yourself to do something, even if it's a shitty workout or it's a shitty read
Yeah.
or you didn't have a good meeting, at least you did it and it'd be like, "Okay, cool. That's a win. Let's go on to the next one."
Focus on the wins, not the losses.
Yeah. But sometimes even, like, if you lose something, it could be for the better, like, it could teach you something,
Hmm.
Like, I if I were to if me and her woulda got back together, I would've probably this wouldn't be happening, I probably wouldn't have been watching him on YouTube, and I'd probably be losing a job again, because I woulda just been like, "Okay, cool, like, she took me back, like, now I can relax on what I need to do." And
So,
that's not healthy.
do you think there's a possibility that you guys can amend that relationship the further you get into your sobriety?
100%. I'm gonna keep staying positive. I just talked to her yesterday, and we've been texting. I'll text her here and there, and yeah, for
Good.
sure. I'm gonna keep believing in it. I have to, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna keep on moving forward and I won't let it affect me.
Right. I mean,
She's a
you
good
know.
person.
So when people come up to you and have you been in situations where people ask you to drink or if you want a drink or have you been in an awkward situation in this first month of quitting drinking?
Yes. So when I went up to class, there's a bunch of good old boys and stuff. So I live in a small country town. I love it.
Hmm?
I love farming. I like doing all that stuff. I went in there and they were like, I was like, "Hey, where's some good food to eat?" They're like, "Yeah, over here." And he's like, "There's tons of beer." And I was like, "Hell yeah." And I walked away smiling because I'm like, I ain't gonna go drink. I'm gonna get my shit and go home. Like, I ain't like that. And one kid's talking to me and he's like hammered. Like, you could tell he was like eyes are red. I'm like, this is crazy. I had to, I didn't have to, but I bought beer for someone, but I was okay with it. Like,
Hmm?
I've never had that issue. I can be around people drinking, but if they start getting stupid and negative, I'm gone. I'll get in my
Yeah.
car and I'll go for a drive in the back roads or something to clear my mind. I can't be around it. But most of the people that I mean, I hang out with barely a few people. And excuse me, my circle's really small, but yeah, everybody's pretty respectful and stuff
I think
to it.
respecting our journeys is key to our success. Like there's so many people
For
that
sure.
don't respect or won't respect you. They won't be proud of you. but you have people that are proud of you. I mean, you have people that are rooting for you and see the
For
change in
sure.
you, and you just have to hang on to those people versus the negative
Yeah.
Nancy's like, "Oh, well, she did this, he did that."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that was probably, 5 bottles of wine and a six pack in. Ah,
No, true. And it's to the point, but see, you
but
just
I
saying
made the
that just made
choice.
me
Yeah.
yeah, it just made me think of something. It's like if those people are holding on to that, that says so much about them too. Like you're like read that book, Let Them, and you'll understand it. Like you'll just be like, wow, like you're really gonna waste 30 minutes of like talking about something like that. Like there's a guy I
Yeah.
talked to who's on the negative side, and it's just like it's like, dude, like you're wasting your life complaining about something that is so irrelevant. Move on, like, and
Mhm.
then it affects me too because I can like it's like my body changes. Like it's just
Mhm.
like, oh, it's like, fuck, you gotta get
Yeah.
away from this.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, it's very true. We have to surround ourselves with people that will, better us as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into listening to podcasts and personal development, I mean, they'll all tell you, if like Ed Milet, for instance, one of his podcasts really stuck out to me. It was he wanted to be rich when he wanted to be
Yeah.
rich. And he came
Mm-hmm.
from an alcoholic father and a really rough upbringing as well, which gives me goosebumps because he's very inspiring to me. But
Yeah, I know who he is.
he placed himself in golf courses and he would drive around these neighborhoods and just kept doing that, and now look at him. He put himself in these places where these people are, and now he's one of the richest guys.
Yeah, it so people probably
Not that
think
it's
I'm
about
crazy.
money,
I
but
won't
he's helping people too. I
No,
mean,
for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's trust me, I could have all the I'm doing a lot better than I am, but it still doesn't mean everything's perfect, like relationship wise. It's funny, the manifestation thing is so true. Like when I was going and visiting this guy at a shop here, and I had the interview, and then he's like, "We're not going to pick you this time, but like the next one I'm going to get you." And like, people talk about that. Like this dude stayed true to his word. So I like already envisioned that I was going to be working there again. And I believe in it 100%. My mindset, having that mindset, and I just kept imagining and imagining, and I got it. And I didn't talk to her for such a long time too, and I was sitting in the hotel, and I'm like, "Ah, I wish, like I wish I could hear." Like I kept thinking maybe she'll message me one day, and wake up in the middle of the night and there's a message on my phone like, "I know you hate me." And it's like, "I don't hate you, like that was drunk me, like calm down." But yeah, she messaged me and she's like, "I just want to know if you're doing well." She was checking me. She just told me yesterday she was proud of me. Like the people that you would think my parents would, but no, it's somebody I've known for almost a year and a few months who's got my back, who's
right.
supported me.
And the people that you'll inspire along the way, there's people that I haven't talked to since a couple years out of high school, and I'm going on 20 years. Well, I'm on 20-year reunion this year. So,
Yeah,
people will message me like one girl I graduated with, she's lost so much weight. She does 75
nice.
hard. She sent me a before and after picture and I was just like, "Oh, girl, like how amazing." It made me feel so
Hell
amazing,
yeah.
and my friends are like, "You inspired me to quit drinking and go on a health journey." And they're
Mhm,
just changing their lives, but I haven't been,
mhm.
I just show up as me.
Yeah.
I don't force people. And so I do have certain family that are like, "Well, why can't Megan help?" And it's like, "You don't want my help. I can't help the unwilling, you know?"
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like everybody has to do it for themselves. Nobody was gonna hold your hand your whole entire journey and be like, "Don't drink today, don't
No.
drink today, go work out, eat
Mhm,
healthy." We have to do it on our own.
mhm.
And just like personal training and my sober coaching, it's like I can work you out 3 days a week, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, give you meal plans with grocery lists. I can, give you all the tools for sober coaching and what to do, what not to do. But if you don't implement it, you're not going to see
No,
success.
you have to be ready. You have to
Yeah,
be ready, and you have to know when to stop. Like it's just something that has to you just have to be ready for it. And
right?
I think the biggest thing that scared me was like if I don't take this job, I'm never going to have a great job again. I'm not going to be able to follow and chase my dreams.
Yeah, because where do you see yourself in the next like year or two?
Mm,
You mentioned
probably in the, go ahead.
you mentioned going to school,
So
or is that
it was
school?
it's a program through the company.
Okay.
So I'm stuck in like a 2 year hold because a lot of people would come in and they as soon as they got through probation they'd leave and they don't want you
Mm.
to do that. So it's a 2 year hold, and then I guess in the next year probably just living life to the fullest, staying sober, working out, um, buy a new truck.
Buy a new truck. Uh, but I mean,
I'm hoping
you getting on here and sharing your story. I mean, and then everybody around you that is watching you, but maybe doesn't
yeah,
say anything. I mean, you're changing your life, which is, going to slowly change other people's lives. Maybe your
for
attitude
sure.
shift will be a help for your dad.
Yeah. We'll
Ah,
say
it's
a
a hard
prayer for that one.
generation. Yes.
Yeah, they are so stuck in their freaking ways. It's ridiculous. But for instance, I was going to school a few years back before Isaac moved up to Oregon, and I was taking classes because I was working for a county, and I hated it. I was miserable. It was a bunch of negative, old, stubborn jerks that wanted to just be so negative and complain about it. And I was like, I'm gonna change my life. And then he's I don't he sent me a great, I might have screenshotted it because I sent him something, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm getting sober, like this is it, I'm gonna kill it. I don't think I saved it. No, I didn't save it, but it was really good. But I motivated him to go to school, and he went and got a bachelor's. He's getting his CDAC. He's working up in Oregon for in the mental health thing, and they just
Oh,
did a substance abuse class the other day, and we were talking before me and you did our the last one. We were talking about it. So, and he's like, you've motivated me, you're the one that helped me push there. And it's like, I never would have thought it. So it's crazy how
yeah.
much you can help people, and some people won't say anything, excuse me, they won't come up to you, but in the shadows you're helping people. It's amazing.
The other part of the book, the don't set a quit date. I mean, you just woke up one day and you're like, I'm reading this book. Like he says, there's no need to delay. Once you truly understand alcohol gives you nothing, you'll stop joyfully. I feel like I just had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and she said she was
Mhm.
at the table with her husband and son and said as she had a glass of wine, she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she's over 2 months sober now, which at
Hell
the
yeah.
beginning I was like, but I think just one day it just clicks. I mean, you have to
Hmm.
realize that it's not serving you. You're destructive, reckless, the shame, the guilt, the
Yeah.
bloated bellies, the chunky
No.
cheeks. I mean, like how much weight have you lost weight since you quit drinking? I mean, that's a
So
lot of
when
beer.
I So when I so a year ago, when I stopped in February about a year ago or whatever, I had my cholesterol was like 258, the bad, and then the other, so it was like a total of like three something. So I was like, I'm gonna lose weight. I stopped, I lost about like 30 pounds, and then right now I'm still kind of, I don't know, I feel fat, I guess, but I'm all right, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, probably yeah, I did. I lost a lot of the beer though. I just saw a picture. I went shooting because I tried to stay sober and I didn't wear sunscreen. I was all burnt and my stomach's huge. So, yeah, but yeah, I've slimmed down for sure.
I I still look back at pictures and I am just amused with, I don't know, because people wanted me to be their trainer or they wanted to look like me or, oh, you're so fit. And I look back at pictures when I was drinking and I was like, that was a
Mhm.
beer belly. That was a legit beer belly. And my cheeks were so chunky. And, given not everybody loses weight when they quit drinking, but those of us that had a legit problem probably
Mhm.
maybe lose some, but you have to be active also and eat healthy. Some of us turn to
Yeah.
sugar, which I didn't turn to sugar until recently.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, I had it
I
last night,
love
and I
ice cream.
even brought a pint home, so we went to ice cream, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna bring the chocolate peanut butter home." So and my husband's like,
That sounds good.
you're not gonna be happy with yourself." And I was like, "Well, it'll help me from coming back here. I can just take a bite of it, put it back in the freezer instead of coming down and getting a waffle cone with a
Yeah.
scoop." Like,
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday, what did I have? I got some like the double-headed gummy snakes or something, and I was like, I'm gonna have some of this. I'm gonna have some tortilla chips, and then that's it. Tomorrow I'm hitting it. And I mean, I've had a banana so far. I've been up early, busy doing stuff, but I'll have a nice protein shake, and I have already meal prep stuff, so I can just eat right away, and I'll be keep going in that right direction. But I
yeah,
do
I think
like
it's all
ice
about
cream. I will try
balance.
it. Yeah, for sure. See, I'm pretty hardcore. Like when I'm into it, I'm going all the way in. Like when I met her, she thought I was like anorexic. She's like, "You're so skinny." I was like, "I lost all my cholesterol or I lowered my cholesterol because I set a goal. Like I did the damn
Mhm.
thing, and then I gained all my weight back. But I felt good though. But I did look a little sickly.
Sickly. Are you tall?
I'm 5'9.5". With
Oh,
boots
like
on, I'm probably
average?
5'10". Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, everybody holds their weight differently, but anorexic. Let me just have some beers, that'll
She's
plump you right
like,
up.
yeah, she's like, "Why you look so I actually helped her lose a lot of weight too. Like
Huh?
she was already she looked fine, but you know, she had some idea in her head. But yeah,
We
it's
always do. We always
yeah,
do. What would you tell people that are struggling right now?
just don't beat yourself up if you are drinking and then the next day you're having that anxiety, don't beat yourself up. It's gonna be all right. If you have one, you have one. And then try again. Just keep trying, keep pushing forward. Try to stay around positive people, try to hit a meeting, try to read, try to do something for yourself. It's not easy, but when you're sick of it and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of it, that's the shift, and your mind will change. Read that book. It definitely will change your perception, but just
And
just
then
hang in
read
there.
Let Them.
Oh yeah. You need to read that. It's so
I do.
good.
I do. I've
I
had so
ripped through
many
that one
people.
quick.
Did you? I'm a slow
Yeah.
reader, so I have to listen to things. I, I don't know. I think it's ADHD. I like squirrel way too easily, and so I'm reading things,
So
and like I can listen to it, but once I get like once I'm in it, I'm in it. But right now,
yeah.
I'm kind of out of it. Right now, I mean, I was just thinking about this the other day after talking to you. I was like, gosh, I need to get back into listening to things or reading things because it really does help our brain. And I
Mhm.
notice that I
It
feel
does.
in a funk if I'm not listening to uplifting things, which is a huge, that is why I think it's so important in sobriety to listen or read personal development because our brains
It
can just go crazy and put us in a spiral.
for sure, 100%. It's like if you were to ask me something about the book, like I'll probably be like, "Oh, I forgot because I'm reading so much." But like
Yeah.
when I'm there, so what I have a journal, and it's like it's not big, so decent size. Anything that stands out to me, I'll write in there, and I'll wake up in the morning. I haven't done it lately. I've been on I'm reading something else, some other personal stuff that I wrote down, but I'll sit there if my mind gets negative, and I'll wake up every morning and I'll read it, and then before bed. Like when I was up training, I was reading it before bed and then in the morning. Get my mindset. And it's everything from different books that I've read that stands out. That way I can remember, cuz like I'll read something and be like, "Oh, I forgot," but
Yeah.
it's just kind of how it is.
I do that too. I'm like, gosh, that book was so good. Okay, what was the best part of the book? I'm like, oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
because you read so much, you listen to so much, and your mind is
Yeah.
just constantly being filtered with happy things, not,
Mhm.
what's going on in the world. Are we going into World War III? Oh no, what's happening?
Oh, don't
Like
even.
people just, I think people, yeah, but I think that's where people go wrong. A lot of times is they just sit in front of the TV and listen to the terrible news all day long and then get home and have a drink because it's all doom and gloom.
Yeah, and it's like that can stop so like easily if you just change your mind and
Yeah.
read something, or just start, like, don't get involved in the stuff that you can't change. Like, change you, change the way you
Yes.
perceive it, change your whole mindset. And things like something like that could be so dark and gloomy, and then you the next, in a month or two, and you change it, you're like that's not my business, that's whatever. Some stuff you have to worry about, but not everything. It's just the way we perceive something.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
Mhm.
when my husband turns some news on, especially what's going on right now in Iran,
Yeah.
I don't keep up. I tune out. I am just like, I don't want to listen to this right now. Please turn it off. Or I just get on my phone and tune out or go in the other room. It just is so, it
It's depressing.
gives you so much anxiety and depression. Yeah. But I get,
Mhm.
so fill our brains with happy thoughts and happy
Yeah.
things and not
Yeah,
all the
you
bad.
have to. It's not always gonna be like, one minute you could be it could be like, let's say someone stopped for a week and they're just killing it. The next week could be tough, but don't react on it. Just keep positive. Read something else, go for a walk, call somebody, hit a meeting. Or there's so much out there now. And then, I mean, I remember growing up, like, there was never a thought of sobriety. Like, it wasn't the cool thing to do. And now it's just there's so much light to it. It's like amazing, like, like, and it's a good group of it's a good community to be a part of. There's good people, and then there's bad sober people. Just stay away from them.
The negative Nancy's, the ones that are still probably poor me about having to quit drinking because some people have to quit drinking. I mean,
Mhm.
there's many reasons why
Mm,
people have to quit drinking, but
yeah.
we get to quit drinking. We
Oh,
chose
yeah.
to quit drinking
Yeah.
before, you know, we were on
Mhm.
our hospital bed or I don't know, in jail.
Yeah.
But
Good old
it's
jail.
I mean, some of us, don't quit after we're in jail. We come back out and are like,
I
"And
I I
let's
didn't.
go."
I hit it harder right
Exactly.
after.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I look forward to seeing your journey and being a part of it, and I hope that we can do another, 6-month
Oh, hell yeah, we
follow-up,
will.
and, I like getting these new, fresh faces into the sobriety world because it helps everybody that comes to my channel looking, for that
The
first, "Oh, crap, that first month is hard." Yeah, I mean, I'm going on 2 years. I can't remember exactly how the first month was sometimes, but it's just really nice to have, a fresh perspective
Yeah,
of it.
for sure. It's been amazing. It's been fun.
And it's documenting your journey also.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a sense of accountability when people come on and tell their story. I
Mm.
know I mean, I think because that's, I did my first video and then I got all the messages and comments that came in, it just kept me going. And so I hope when people resonate with my guests that, they flood the comments and then the guest sees the comments and it's like, "Oh my gosh, I got this." Especially, on a bad day, you can just go to the comments and you have a whole entire community rooting for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm
It's a
I'm hoping I did this because I wanted just to get my story out there and help somebody. And I know it will for sure. And people are thinking like, "Oh, I'm hitting it hard or whatever." And it's like, "Oh shit, he hits it just as hard as me. Like, I can do this." Like, everyone has a purpose. Like, I remember, I want to say this before we're done. Growing up, I was always like, what is my purpose? Like, what
Mm,
like, oh, I want to be I want to have property. I want to start a business. I want to do all this cool stuff. But it's like, now, like, my purpose is to get up, go to work, stay sober, work on myself, on my physical and mental health. And anybody who calls or talks to me, just have a great conversation and just share everything. And that's going to change eventually. Like, I'll have a different purpose in the next 6, 7 months.
yeah.
It may even be a bigger one. But for people
Yeah.
who don't think they have a purpose, you have to sit there and really dive into it.
Exactly. I mean, we don't know what our
Hmm.
purpose is until we're in it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have never thought that I would be here talking about living an alcohol-free life ever. And now
Yeah,
my
me
purpose
either.
is helping people.
Hell yeah, that's
So,
good though. It's
right,
amazing.
right. Keeps us sober.
Mhm.
Or I mean, well, keeps me sober. But yeah,
Yeah,
I really appreciate you doing this with me, and I look forward to having you on again.